So we all have dreams, and goals, but the only way to achieve those goals and dreams is you have to stay consistent and, you have to just kind of follow and trust the process, So the reason I made this video is to just tell you that, you're going to have to stay consistent if you want to reach that goal. And there's going to be times where it's tough. There's going to be times where you feel like, is it really worth it? And you kind of have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Do you want to stay consistent, and do you want to stay consistent during the hard parts? I feel like it's easy to, stay consistent during the times you're very motivated, but what about those times when you're very unmotivated, Are you willing to stay consistent through the tough times to make it to, the good times, whatever you want to say, right? The reason I make this video is kind of a video for myself in a way, but also to try to help other people out that may be struggling with, consistency and repetition and all that. So the reason I kind of say it's for myself is because, I made this new YouTube channel, right? And I really want to stay consistent with this because I feel like this could be a very, successful channel. I've always wanted to do good on YouTube, and there's ideas that I have that are like, I feel like could do really well. It's just like, are they realistic? Like, could I actually do them with everything else in my life? A lot of those ideas, like, yes, but they would take so long to do. So, you got to find realistic goals. So, for example, I'm starting to work out now, and I want to be consistent with that too. So, the thing is, though, consistency is one thing, but as humans, we're not perfect, and I feel like there's going to be a point where I say, like, you're so unmotivated that you're going to kind of, like, maybe, like, give up or whatever it is. Like, you're not going to stay consistent. I feel like eventually everyone's going to hit it in life, no matter what, whatever goal they're trying to go for. I think the key is, with anything, is how you bounce back from that. Because it could be at your job. It could be maybe in your life. There's going to be, a day maybe where it's just nothing's going right. We've all had those days where it's like, dude, nothing's going right for me today. Like, this is the worst day of my life, all that. But I think it says more about your character, about how you bounce back from things like that, right? Can you have a stretch or a period of time where you're not doing great, but are you able to then bounce back and come back even stronger, I think it's, you see this a lot in, like, combat sports, for example. It could be boxing, MMA. I need to put down a bomb shooter real quick so I can get these. But yeah, you see it a lot in, combat sports where a boxer or, whatever, a fighter will lose, right? And I feel like, with Floyd Mayweather going 50-0, a lot of people think it's like, you have to be undefeated to be, the best, which I think is not true. Let's think about Canelo Alvarez, right? I would say he's one of the greatest boxers of all time, and at one point he was undefeated, and then he fought a person named Floyd Mayweather. So if you know anything about Floyd Mayweather, he is undefeated, so he beat Canelo Alvarez. And that was Canelo's only loss for a long time. And after that loss, Canelo just went another level, like, he didn't, sit back and, kind of just, like, be sad about the loss or whatever. I mean, he probably was for a little bit, but he reflected, and he was able to learn from that and stay consistent. And yeah, like I said, he's one of the greatest boxers of all time, I would say. And I don't think he would have gotten to the level that he's at now if it wasn't for his loss. So I always think that's a great, comparison to make, is just with, like, fighters, because that undefeated record holds, like, a lot of weight. I mean, obviously in any other sport, losing is, like, kind of normal. And I guess you can even see that with, different sports too, where people don't make it there, they barely lose, or they're about to make it to, like, the championship, or they lose in the championship. But it's all about, can they come back with the right mindset, So you can kind of apply that to your life, like, you've been working out for a certain amount of time, and there's a day where you just kind of, like, you don't want to work out, and it kind of spirals into, like, maybe a week or so. But are you able to be like, you know what, hey, I really need to, make sure I'm staying consistent with this. I've had, a bad week or so, but I'm gonna come back, and I want to try to make sure I come back even stronger and more consistent, and, make sure my mental is there and all that. So I just think, this was an important video to make. I don't know who needs to hear this, but like I said, this was kind of a video for myself in a way. I don't know what to buy for this guy. Laser cannon? Dude, I don't know. I haven't played balloons in so long, I'll be honest. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say is just, if you're struggling, stay in there, and, it's okay if you have a couple days where, it's rough and maybe you have to just stop for a second. But as long as you're staying consistent throughout it, like, if you really feel like you need to just, like, stop whatever you're doing, then, that's okay. Like, if it's literally, like, if it's hurting you, like, mentally and stuff, whatever your goal is, then, you know, maybe it's not the right choice. But, you know, I hope this helped, you know, someone watching, and hopefully I can stay true to my word. If any watching have, you know, any stories or anything, any advice to give to people, feel free to share it down below, you know. That's kind of what I want this to all be about, is just sharing, you know, advice and just talking about life in general, because we're all human. So, thank you for watching, and, you know, thank you to Monkey Meadow for being the background gameplay. Who is your favorite Dart Monkey? Or, oh my god, who's your favorite monkey? Not Dart Monkey. Dart Monkey's a classic, but I think Quincy's pretty cool. Alright, see you guys. Take care.